I took 4 trades today. All 4 of them were profitable, thankfully. Let me show you what I did. So I took the Qs short right on the open. And the reason I did that is because quite often the last hour of pre market trading activity is a pretty good proxy for what's going to happen in the very early going of the regular trading hours. So, and it was quite bearish for the last hour before market opened. So I took a very small position, incredibly small position, but I took one put, 0 DTE put on the open, and then I added to it when it came up to the top of the closing range. So I had just two positions. They were like, $200-300 each. So it was a small position. I think I had, $500 in the trade roughly. I was just testing it just to see what would happen. And sure enough, it came down and it came all the way back down. It broke yesterday's low, which is what I was expecting. And it broke this low, which is a low from like 2-3 weeks ago. And I figured it could break it, but most likely it's going to find support below that because there's going to be buyers below that. Every time you wick below a previous low, there's usually a bunch of stop losses, but there's also a bunch of buying activity usually. So that's usually a place where the market could turn around. So I took the position off right in here. I let it break through. I mean, I scaled out along the way. I scaled out a couple as it broke yesterday's low, and then I held one more to the bottom. And then down here, I actually went long on the Qs for the exact same reason that I mentioned. And then it came back up, and I took that off when it got back to a previous day low, which ended up being the right call. So, but both of them were very small trades. So I made between the two of them, I think I made. Well, actually, I'll tell you right now. So let's see. Here's my P&L. Okay, $377. That's between both trades. So they were very, very small trades. Total P&L for the day was 2,046. My third trade of the day was on Apple, which had a beautiful retest of a closing range, which wasn't yesterday's closing range, but it was from a previous day. And I'm telling you, these closing ranges are incredibly powerful. So start adding them to your chart. So this one here was from yesterday, but this upper one here was never tested in a previous session. And so when a closing range is not tested, then I leave it on for subsequent days. And so that's what this is here. And Apple came up, broke right through it, which is bullish, and it had a beautiful retest right to the closing range. So I took it here. I actually took it on this. I think it was actually this third bar here that I took it long, and I didn't hold it long enough, it's just hard for me to imagine that the stock's going to go further. So if you look up here, it says up 1.32 ATR. Do you see that? So that's a calculation of how much the stock has moved from yesterday's close relative to its ATR. And so that's average true range. So the average true range, it's already at this point, it was already over 1, I think. So 1 ATR, like that's a significant move. I mean, it could go further, of course, but I took it off when it reached. So this is previous day high, and this is the previous day high of the day before. And so I figured it's going to want to go up and at least hit that level, which is what it did right here. So I took the rest of the position off right here, but then it just kept going. So I could have made more money, but anyway, I made a profit on Apple. My profit on Apple was $629. And then my third trade of the day, or rather my fourth trade of the day, was now. And so I took this. This was a little bit of a frustrating trade. Just happens to me over and over again. So I took the trade right in here, right on this red bar. Because it was bullish, it's a consolidation. But I'll tell you, like when you have an impulsive price action, and I consider this an impulsive price action, particularly these two bars. This is impulsive price action. Uh, I don't know the exact statistic, but I would bet you 9 times out of 10, it's going to come and retest the origin of that impulsive move, which is the base of this candle here. And that's what it did right here. So I should have waited rather than taking the position here. I should have waited and just trusted that it's going to come down and test that level. It's not guaranteed, but there's a high probability it's going to do that. And that's what it did here. So I could have gotten a better entry here. And then it did go down and test the low bear. So this is the low bear candle. That's the lowest red candle is right here. And quite often, again, this whole impulsive move, you could say that the impulsive move started right here on this candle. So in that case, it's going to go down to the base of this, and this is exactly what it did. So I would have had to scale in either way, but it really came down quite far, compared to my original entry, which was up here. So I did scale in. I'll show you my executions, but it came down to the base of the impulsive move, tested the low bear, and then it hung out down here for 4 to 12 minutes. That's usually the case. Between 4 and 12 minutes, it'll hang out down at the bottom. And then it started working its way up, and it fought with VWAP for like 10 minutes. And I was stressed out at this point because at the exact same time, the Qs were right here, butting up against the closing range from yesterday. So right there was when it was hitting VWAP. And then while it was fighting with VWAP, the Qs were actually pulling back. So that was a stressful time. I was like, this thing could fail easily. It didn't fail, thankfully. So yeah, it fought VWAP here. And then finally it broke through with this impulsive. This was a really exciting candle for me. It really took the pressure off because it was on high volume and it really jumped up fast. And that's usually a good sign. It rested for 1 minute and then it continued its advance. And I was scaling out aggressively. My target was this, which was the high of day from the morning session right here. So that was the high of day. And usually it goes past it. And I didn't really hold on. I think I sold my last position on this bar here. And it's going further, and who knows, maybe it keeps going. Maybe it keeps going higher, and I miss out on that too. But it's okay. I've got 3 or 4 profitable trades on 3 symbols. My profit on now was 1,040 for a total P&L of 2,046. So that's my day. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about my approach to trading, then go to my channel and watch all the videos that have a yellow dot on the thumbnail. So if I make a video like this and there's good learning points, like I think there was good learning points today. So today we'll have a yellow dot. But if you go to my channel, there's a couple of other videos, and I'm going to continue to add them as I go along. If they're good videos, I'll add a yellow dot. So you can go to my channel and just watch the ones that are worth watching, and you don't have to watch any of the other ones. But I appreciate you checking in, and we'll see you again on Monday. Bye-bye.